you.
Hi, it's me again. I have a question to ask. Why are you ladies still making videos about men are happy being single? Of course they are. They just don't want to deal with the drama. The drama and then losing everything they work hard for after a couple of years, and when your feeling is no longer there, you tell him like, yeah, fuck this shit, I'm out. And then you ladies keep making videos, and some of you even crying, asking why men are walking away. Are you guys really living in reality? Have you guys not looked around how you Western modern woman over here act like? You guys act like banshee. Every day I see on these apps some bitch be hating on men, and the men would be probably, most of the men have no idea. They were all at work, minding their own business, and then here comes on TikTok somebody bitching about the fiance, boyfriend lah, husband lah. Now the trend is to throw your husband to the wolf. Okay, so I don't understand some of y'all. Like, seriously, you don't know why the men are walking away? Look at how you guys treat the men over here. I think foreign women treat your men better than you guys.
Some men will choose a life of solitude simply because they've been so hurt by women in the past. They don't know how to trust women, and honestly, they don't even know if it's worth it. So if this man is willing to let you into his heart and he's willing to work on things, he's going to require patience and reassurance. But know that if you're in that spot, he's not going to let you go.
I've just discovered the reason why it's so hard to find a good guy dating in 2023. And it's not because there aren't any left and that all men are disgusting and all men are trash. That is completely false, no matter what you hear from other girls on TikTok. The truth is that the good guys are done with dating. They would rather be single and have their peace than be in a relationship and not be treated correctly. They're done playing the games, okay? Girls not being monogamous, them not texting them back, them giving them mixed signals, them opening up and sharing their feelings, and then a girl breaking up with them. They don't want to deal with that. They'd rather work a lot, go home, play some video games, watch a movie, and spend time with their dog or themselves than ever have to deal with women.
I know what I'm about to say is going to surprise some of you, but I don't have any problem with somebody using my words because it's still spreading the message that I believe in. So like it, interact with it. You don't need to report it, but just don't fall for clicking the link. And side note, I should mention here, I have never and probably will never have a backup account. So please be aware so that you don't get scammed.
Yeah, women, stop hating on men. I'm tired of it. Like, we got our point across, okay? Now it's going to negatively affect us. I promise you that. When does hating on anybody ever work out? Just tell me. When does it ever work out? Okay? Like, you've had your fun. That's enough. Because there are good men out there. We need to stop generalizing and saying men are this, women are that, blah, blah, blah. Like, people are people. Stop. It's not cool. It's not cool, and it's going to come back to fucking bite your ass. Because what we want to be cared for, we want to be provided for, we want to be protected. Well, who's going to protect and provide for you if you're fucking shitting all over them? Who's going to want to do that? I think men are annoyed. I think men are pissed off. I think men, especially the good ones, are like, fuck women now, I think we've had our say, and it's time to transition into just mutual respect, and this is just enough. Maybe that's just me.
I just watched a wedgie tutorial. Yep, you heard that right. I am disgusted. And look, these wedgies aren't new. We've seen these wedgies in every single workout video for years. But now we're making tutorials on how to give yourself a wedgie, actively teaching this. This is so inappropriate on so many levels, and yet this is what's being sold to girls and women as being that gym girl, confidence and empowerment. These are industry leaders. Young girls look up to them. So what exactly are we teaching girls? That we should give ourselves wedgies to show off our butts so that everyone can stare at our butts? But wait, then we get mad at people for staring at us. We wonder why we're objectified and why young girls think that their self-worth lies in how their butt looks. Giving yourself a wedgie is not empowering. Wearing that wedgie in public is not empowering. Taking pictures and videos of your wedgie and posting it online for the entire world to see is not empowering. As women, we need to do better than this.
Most men that claim about caring for their families and their wives are lying. And it's because they don't understand one small thing. You cannot care for someone on your own terms. When you offer support, the support needs to be catered to the other person's need and not your comfort zone. It's like saying, oh, I want to feed the animal and then present a banana to a cat. The cat don't need your banana. She wants fish. And this is the reason for male loneliness epidemic. Men lack skills to connect with other individuals without a transaction. And all those WhatsApp forwards about how men friendships are so superior, they're not. Friendships are not limited to drinking together. If men really had that kind of great friendship, just not finding a woman would not make you lonely. And all of this is not on men, it's on the society. We teach them that they deserve to be cared for and other people will have to do it for them. But by doing so, we are creating a generation of men that are incapable of caring but expects it in return.
It's a very common misconception that cats need fish. And there are a few reasons why that woman and many others might believe this to be true. It usually stems from a mix of pop culture, historical marketing, and a bit of biological truth that gets taken out of context. And we'll leave it there. Let's just normalize not knowing what you're talking about and going from there. Let's normalize that. Well, you want to give her a banana, but what she really needs is fish. No, I know what she needs, which is why she's sitting in that house. She needs shelter. She needs food. She don't need a steak. She don't need steak. She wants steak. That's what she wants. She wants a mansion. She didn't need a mansion. She wants a Bentley. She don't need a Bentley. I'm giving you what you need. You need somebody to be strong and understand your feelings. You don't need anybody to cater and kowtow to you. You don't need people that, oh, well, you're okay. Your feelings are valid. You don't need somebody to babysit you and coddle you, bro. That's not what you need. You need somebody. No, I don't know if that was the correct thing to do. I think you might have done this, and this. Now, we're not talking about, talking crazy to people and making that what you do on a regular basis. But what y'all like to do is y'all like to get out here and be involved in things that you're not supposed to be involved in. And then want men to go along with it. That's why I read that first part of it being a misconception. And I'm glad they said it's a mixture of, biological. So there's some truth in there, somewhere in there. But then you also have, stuff that was told to you historically. And then you have the pop culture narrative. So all of those mixes in there. And I'm glad you used that, because y'all don't be thinking, y'all be telling on yourselves. And you really do. Clueless. Don't have an understanding of what's going on. Y'all be thinking, oh yeah, really, we don't teach them to do this. And y'all don't think about what you're saying. Y'all don't think. I need fish. No, you actually need a mixture of these types of foods. This is what science says is healthy for your digestion. Well, I don't want that. Let me be clear. I don't want that. I want this over here. Well, then why didn't you just say that? Because you should read my mind. I refuse to listen to somebody that lets ChatGPT tell them how to think and feel. This is what this is. ChatGPT is stroking your ego for that $20. ChatGPT is probably the greatest invention for modern women. It could be good for business. It could be good for a lot of things. But a lot of modern women are so chaotic in their mind. ChatGPT will affirm the stupidity that you think and then say, yeah, I definitely understand where you're coming from. You're not crazy. And who better to be on call in the midnight hour when your friends are asleep or when they're on vacation with their kids and husband happily married? You get on that phone. Hey, ChatGPT, am I crazy? Am I valid in thinking insert stupid thought? No, you're totally valid, knowing good and well that you ain't valid. Now give me that $20. No, you're totally valid. Now send me that $200 payment. Y'all don't really understand that y'all are insufferable. That's really the long and short of it.
Male loneliness epidemic, it's just women refusing to be manipulated anymore. We're educated and we're independent. We've read the books, we've done the healing, and we've gone to therapy. We're not interested in babysitting fragile egos anymore. You don't get applause for doing the dishes, and you don't get loyalty by being barely tolerable. And no, being a good guy doesn't mean you're owed a relationship. We've raised our standards, not walls. And the ones yelling not all men are the ones proving exactly why we say that. That's why birth rates are dropping, not because we hate men, but because we refuse to sign up to raise one. We're not risking our peace, our bodies, our sanity for someone who calls emotional labor nagging. We're not bitter, we're just done. We're done shrinking ourselves to fit someone's ego, done mistaking crumbs for commitment, done being told we're too much when really we were never asking for enough. This isn't a war on men, it's a wake-up call. Because the new standard is self-respect. And if that feels like rejection, maybe you weren't showing up with love, just entitlement. We're not hard to love, we're just no longer easy to manipulate. And that's not loneliness, that's liberation. Here's the fix. Men need to stop asking, will you be my girlfriend, like we should be flattered. And start asking themselves, am I even worthy of being her boyfriend? Like maybe, just maybe, we're the prize. Because we are, and until they figure that out, they can stay lonely.
So I would love to get married again, but now it seems like men don't want to get married anymore. Like, why is this? Can't we just get a prenup and be married? What is the real reason men don't want to get married anymore? Is it money? Is it they've already had half of their stuff taken from a divorce, so they're bitter? I'm really curious.
I don't want to be your second husband. You get what I mean? Like, Nestor, do you want to be this lady's second husband?
No, she's making it sound like getting married. She makes it sound like a hobby or something.
It's like something to do.
Yeah.
like what? You know how much a wedding costs? Usually, I've been to 4 weddings in the past 2 years. No one had crab cakes. The wedding I went to, the dude there, they were literally making a wager on how long the marriage was going to last. They both thoroughly did not think that this relationship was going to last. Meanwhile, we're sitting there eating phenomenal finger foods. I'm not kidding. That really happened. I remember being like, what? For real? Like, they seem like a good match. He's like, are you kidding me? He's like, this wedding's a sham. I was like, what?
And then they say, oh, is it because you're just bitter? No, I just don't want to continue to spend my money. I don't want to continue to waste my money. I don't want to continue to be around somebody that's going to disturb my peace. It's like these women don't understand that being with you is chaos. Are you okay?
Here's the problem with modern marriage from a man's perspective. Most of the marriages I know, okay, the man provides financially, he protects, taking care of kids, doing the things that he can do. What does the woman bring? She brings love, affection, a little bit of sweetness at the end of the day, you know, sex. If you get divorced, every single thing on that side of the man equation, he can be compelled to do by the power of the state, and if he fails to do it, they can put him in jail. Nothing on that other side, the female side, is enforceable at law.
The truth is that women generally do want commitment and love, but men do use that to their own advantage. And that's exactly why the male loneliness epidemic exists. If men do not learn to step up and to value what a woman brings to their life, women are better off staying single.
Cook for a second. Masculine power is earned through burden, pressure, risk, responsibility, loneliness. Why are we telling women that that's what freedom looks like? Work like men, compete like men, delay family like men, carry pressure like men. Let me ask you something. Since when did copying the thing that breaks men become empowerment for women? Because it doesn't look like it's working. More loneliness, more meds, more bitterness, more I don't need anybody energy, less peace, less fulfillment, less polarity.
Okay, you want to talk about the male loneliness epidemic? I'll talk about it with you. So, first of all, there's no doubt that this is happening. Women are opting not to get married, not to have babies, or delay marriage or childbirth, if they even do it at all. So that's leaving more and more men without women. And the problem for men, and the reason why they feel lonely when they don't have a wife or a girlfriend, is because they're not benefiting from the free emotional and physical and domestic labor that women perform for men. Even in households where both men and women earn, or even where the woman out-earns, studies have been done on this, where it shows that despite the dollar being the same from both people in a heterosexual couple, women still perform more invisible labor and unpaid labor than their male counterparts. And so men are lonely because they used to bring financial security and stability. And that was really the biggest reason why women opted into marriage, because they needed the income, because we were not allowed to build our own wealth. It wasn't until 1974 that women could open a bank account, start a business, or buy a house. Guess what? Fast forward now to 2026, we still live in these patriarchal infrastructures, and they're everywhere. You might not even see them or recognize them unless you're looking for them, but they are everywhere. We can go into that another time. But women now own more homes. Single women own more homes than single men, because we no longer have to rely on men for financial security to meet our basic needs, because now we can provide for ourselves. So we are getting educated. We are doing personal development. We go to therapy. We build rich friendships and societies around us. So all of that being said means that we just don't need men anymore, but we live within this patriarchal construct. So the male loneliness epidemic exists, but it's not for women to solve. Men should solve it. Go to therapy, do the hard work, do the things that women do so that you can level up and be the type of man that someone wants to be with and wants to choose to partner their life with, that makes women's lives better, not worse or harder. So what we can learn from all of this is that the patriarchy basically benefits no one, not even the men it was designed to protect. Let's burn it down.
Once again, I don't think that you guys understand exactly what you're saying. I'm only marrying you, even though, and what they try to do is make it seem like men inherently, even in those times, were terrible people. Oh, well, he's doing this, he's doing. If a man comes up to you, I sure would like to take you out to eat. I think you're pretty. I would like to get to know you. And then settles down, marries her, the whole 9 yards. Well, I really don't like you like that, but I need to survive. So I'm going to go get that ice cream. And then you're going to go get me a hamburger. And I'm just going to keep this rolling. I'll have your babies in exchange for, you give me a roof over my head, because I can't do that for myself. So y'all sit up here and complain about, oh, well, grandpa used to do this, and he really didn't love May Jean. He really didn't love Billy May. Billy May, from what you're saying, didn't really love him either. So I don't see what the disconnect is here. If he didn't love her, she didn't love him. It's the same thing. Well, we can do this, we can do that. Who cares? And then even her saying, hey, go to therapy and level up. Once a man levels up, he's still in front of you. You guys don't seem to get that. When this man goes to therapy, as you say that he hasn't been going to, when this man goes to therapy and now he's back out on the market, he's going to reestablish himself as the standard, the one to beat. Oh, you go to therapy? And I'm just going to, listen, I'm just going to start cooking and telling all these women I go to therapy. I do this, and this, and it's going to be easy. Oh man, I got me a man that goes to therapy. Yep, she like it too. I got me a man that shaves and did da. Yep, she across town likes it too. Another woman likes it too. Oh, I got a man that makes a pretty good salary and he goes to the gym. You like it, and the woman across the street likes it too. So now it's me picking out of both of y'all, and I'm trying to see which one is going to be compliant. Which one is going to get on my schedule? I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need you for a cut. End of story. Cut.
Stop doing struggle love. Stop it. Okay? You as a woman are already not in a good position in this patriarchal system. Period. And then a man loses his job and you're gonna fucking stick around. That man is not gonna treat you with dignity and respect because he now feels embarrassed and less than. Okay? If you're not in a marriage, get the fuck out. If you're in a marriage and that man doesn't immediately get a job, get the fuck out. He's gonna take out his anger on you. And why are you going to do struggle love? Why are you gonna sit there? You've been conditioned to allow anything to happen to the circumstance of your life. What? No, you're not a good girl. You are not a good girl. Why would you live in poverty? Why would you struggle? Why would you settle for less? Even if it was out of his circumstance, if he doesn't have that job, immediately get the fuck out. It's gonna ruffle feathers. Do I look like I give a shit? No, I don't. Do not settle because these men tell you that they expect you to fucking get down and dirty and struggle with them. Go fucking struggle on your own. I do not struggle. I live in peace. There are plenty of other men that will take care of me. And you can call me selfish. You can call me whatever you want to call me. I don't do struggle love, and that should be your mentality. I don't do struggle love. I don't struggle. I don't need to struggle. Why would I choose that for myself? I coach if you're interested. There's a link in bio. Never settle.
So basically, it sounds like you don't believe anything that you're saying. There's plenty of other men that will pay for me. Maybe, but you don't even need them, because this dating and this BS that you just told all of the women, some of these ladies believe it so much that they're going to take your program. And what y'all like to do is y'all like to charge a premium for BS. So I'm assuming that this program is going to cost somewhere around $500. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go check it right now. So you're not going to be able to read this whole thing, so I'm going to read it off to you. My energy sessions are designed to optimize various areas of your life, identifying and bridging gaps, connecting you to your higher self, team, and mission, and clearing what no longer serves your highest potential. So BS. I'm selling BS. First session here is personal mission, discovery session, 30-minute existing client check-in. All right. Start from the top. Personal mission discovery session. You'll notice that they're not selling. They're not going to give you anything but BS. Nothing tangible, just BS. Because these modern women have nothing to give. Reconnect to your power, purpose, and highest path for the individual. Reconnect? That means I was connected before. How was this a personal mission discovery? I was already there. Reconnect to your power, purpose, and highest path for the individual who knows they're meant for more, but needs clarity on what that more actually is. And then it cuts off. Okay, that's all we need. And then you have the 30-minute existing client check-in, quick clarity, energetic insight, and strategic direction for existing clients. A focused, no fluff session for clients who've worked with me before, blah, blah, blah. 2-hour premium executive expansion intensive. This is for founders, CEOs, operators, or senior leaders, not general life coaching. You're capable, you're strategic, you've built something real and valuable. Okay, energetic clearing and reset session. Clear the noise, reclaim your power, and operate at your highest frequency for those carrying too much energetically, mentally, emotionally, and know it's time. Okay, 1-hour executive expansion and transformation session. It's kind of the same thing. Okay, how much does this cost? Out of curiosity. Oh, 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 Jesus. Y'all see that? 1,300, but it's for executives. Executives have money, right? How much is a 2-hour? I would assume. I hope she's not gonna put $3,000. 2,400. So you get a little bit of a discount. Jesus. Energetic. 1,200. I severely limited myself. A 30-minute. 340. Jesus. Personal discovery. So you know she's gonna charge for this. 1,200. So it don't matter whether you're an executive or not. It don't matter. You gonna give me this 1,200. And that's what I was saying a minute ago. It don't really matter whether or not providing divine feminine wisdom to awaken and align people to their inner. Let me see if I can. Okay. So this is what it says, and this is what it looks like. Let me see if I can get back to they got a shop right here. One question life advice response, $99 to respond? Dang. She crazy. One question spiritual reading, email, $150 to get an email? I'll read 4 questions and give you an email response for $400. 2 questions for $250. Man, you go to JCPenney and take some pictures, and then all of a sudden you feel like you can charge a premium. And this why men staying out of the dating market right here. Providing divine feminine wisdom to awaken and align people to their interconnection, personal power, and matriarchal. So I'm guessing it's just women. People. What you said personal. People. You mean women. Leadership and service of the collective. Man, I'm telling you, these women running each other broke. I mean, it ain't just men, it's women too. They charging women a premium. I guess these women paying it. Dang. Said book a private session. She charging you an arm and a leg. Dang, $1,300 is crazy. Yeah, that's why dudes not getting married, man. It's just ain't providing nothing. Just taking people money. You don't even need a man. You need women, and women paying for this bull crap.
Let's talk about the male loneliness epidemic. So a little while back, there was this video that went viral. It was of a young woman on some dating show. Those are incredibly popular right now. She was expressing that she was excited to embark on her journey, traveling around the world. She had been getting certified in scuba diving and rock climbing, etc., etc. She was really eager, really excited. A room full of men basically looked at each other, giggled to each other, unanimously decided that none of them had an interest in her. Now, personally, I sort of think that at the end of the day, the guys in the group weren't really particularly her type, and, you can't really be too upset about that. Sometimes people are just in the wrong room. But I wanted to have a conversation about some of the conversations I had beneath one of the videos that I commented on that was about this. So one of the really common bits of commentary I've seen from young men in the comment section of that particular video is that they are very afraid of being used. And I think this is a very normal, natural anxiety to have within relationships. And I think right now a lot of men are feeling that capitalism isn't quite getting them the return of misogyny that they were kind of encouraged to believe it would. And I think that's kind of how you end up getting the Donald Trumps and the Andrew Tates and this. And there's a real tangible anxiety that these men feel that they project onto women that is really, frankly, about the fact that they were lied to. No, being a man and making money, showing up to the date, being nice to a woman does not make you inherently a good partner. I bring this up because I actually think it's really important for men who have an interest in being in relationships to really start to think about some of these conversations, because personally, maybe I'm wrong on this.
So far, you are. Y'all will blame everything on misogyny. Y'all will blame everything on the patriarchy and not listen to what's being said. You just said what the issue actually was. They're not. Now, should they have laughed? No, nobody wants to put out themselves out there and be laughed at. I mean, you over there giggling like what's funny, that, okay, fair point. But then to twist it and turn it and say, well, that's, you laughing because of the patriarchy. It's the patriarchy. You're laughing because of misogyny, and you're not getting what capitalism and misogyny and the patriarchy promised you. I wasn't looking for that. What I was looking for was a family that could support me and, what I would say, complete me. That's what I was looking for. I'm not 100% sure what else. Would I like to have a good life and build with my family? Absolutely. But that would be something that I would want to do with her. That's why a lot of men don't move into houses. Y'all are out here going and getting homes on your own. But men say, well, I'm just fine here by myself. because I don't need all of that space. You have a 3-bedroom house. Why do I need that? It's just me over here, right? Most I might have is a 2-bedroom. If a friend comes into town, hey bro, I got a spare bedroom, or somebody falls on hard times. Yeah, sure. But for the most part, it's just me. I'm only taking out and I'm only doing what I need.
But I really do believe that one of two things is going to happen, right? There's going to either be a series of men who fall so deeply into this misogyny bullshit and they alienate themselves from the majority, I think, of sensible women, right? Or these men do it by force. And I think what's really aggravating to me is I think a lot of these relationships, frankly, would work quite well if people understood how they're supposed to work.
And I'm guessing only women who are sensible, as you say, are the only ones that know how relationships work. I'm saying, that's what I'm saying, man.
Right? So a lot of these guys were complaining about how these women like her, like to travel the world, hop out of bed with different men, and basically don't have an interest in settling down anymore. I commented kind of being like, look, I travel alone all the time. Men are not part of my travel plans. Obviously, when you're a woman traveling alone, men interact with you and intersect with you, but men are not the reason I travel. I don't travel with the thought of, oh my God, I'm going to meet a man here. I travel with the thought of, I'm going to go somewhere really interesting and see something kind of cool.
Right. But then you also have women that are out here saying, well, actually, we just talked about a woman. We just talked about a woman trying to put a man in the friend zone on my other channel. I should go dating 101. Try to put him in the friend zone. She used that man for his money, for his kid. Literally, I mean, we didn't have to make it up. She's literally saying, I'm using this man for the connection. I'm using this man to get access inside this club. There's an NFL player in here and I want to get access to him, but I don't want to pay for myself. This man, who he don't know he a friend yet, he's going to get me in the club. He's going to get a section. I'm going to relax in that section, do my thing. And I'm going to come over and basically I'm going to try to latch on to that NFL player and hope he takes a bait. If not, at the end of the night, I'm just go back home with the guy that I came here with. But, other than that, I really don't like him. And she said, I'll even go as far as to show you the videos so you know I'm not lying. I'm not interested in this guy at all. Going to a gentleman's club or things of that nature and doing crazy stuff in there. And then finally, at the end of the night, you want to go, instead of going home, you want to go to his house, get in his bed, ask him for pajamas that belong to him. And then when he says, hey, what's up? What's going on? Oh, ain't nothing. I'm going to sleep. After the man just paid for a night out. Oh, well, I don't think it's anything like that. We just friends. After that man didn't spend his money, you knew what that man was there for, what was up. But then you sat up there and played games and you told us you were playing games. So this type of stuff, well, I don't do it. Don't nobody care about what you got going on. Modern women are out here doing that. That's what we're trying to tell you. Y'all don't listen.
Like, I personally have traveled a bunch to New Orleans, right? And I traveled to New Orleans because I love the food, I love the culture, I love the people, I love a lot of things about New Orleans. Every single time I go there, I'm not there to interact with men. I am there to enjoy the environment that I'm in. And what's interesting is a lot of men, I think, don't understand like something like basic and simplistic like that, and that a woman can also want those things, right? I thought that it was kind of interesting that these guys were complaining about women not wanting to settle down, because so many of these guys were talking about how they don't want to be on a trip with a woman who likes to travel, basically become the dude who carries all the bags, right? It's a very classic kind of resentment that we often hear within heterosexual dynamics, right? This sort of idea of men don't want to be the guy sitting outside of the place of business holding the purse, right? He doesn't want to be I don't know why this person in front of me is going so slow. He doesn't want to be the person who's sitting there of being taken advantage of for their ability to lift heavy things in comparison to the average woman, right? Do you know what's really funny to me about that? Do you know what's really, really funny to me about that?
It's funny because the whole entire concept of the idea behind what's being said, you're about to gloss over that. But go ahead.
I think a lot of men who complain about this are men who either have not been in relationships or are not used to understanding the very reciprocal way that relationships are supposed to work. And I understand how you get some of these anxieties and frustrations because, especially if you're a man, you're under a lot of pressure right now to provide. And we're increasingly in a situation that's not really going to be what most men are able to do, right? It's a lot, right? But what's interesting to me about it is, as a person who's in a relationship, like my boyfriend, he has this way of never wanting to see me struggle that makes me want to do nothing more than take care of him. I've mentioned this a few times because I know that it's I don't know if it's very clear in my content, though I do mention it from time to time. I am unfortunately, despite many markers that may indicate otherwise, very tragically heterosexual. And
And this is what men have the pleasure of being with. This is what men have the pleasure of being with. I am tragically heterosexual. My man, after just saying this, my man. How come we can't find men that want to be good men, that want to take care of us? How come we can't find men that want to get married, that want to commit, that want to settle down? And then says in the next breath, well, I'm tragically heterosexual. I hate doing this. I hate being straight. I hate it. But here I am. I didn't choose the life. The life chose me.
A lot of my 20s basically trying to be a housewife. That's what it was, right? I was young. I didn't really know what I was doing. It was honestly for the wrong dude. But something I felt in that relationship was that I was doing so much stuff for ultimately a man who, if I was laying his actions next to each other and putting them in front of me and reading down the list, right? Objectively didn't really seem like he cared too terribly much for me. I mean, this was a guy who would watch me struggle. He would, almost celebrate that he didn't help me struggle and that I did it on my own, right? And to be clear, I am a lot of these dudes' worst nightmares now, and I've become a lot more liberated since then. I have to do my own thing. But when I met my partner, he has this way of making me feel taken care of that, interestingly enough, made me want to wear pink. Some of you guys remember probably when I went through a little bit of a pink phase and I was posting a lot of pictures about wearing pink because pink was such a scary color for me. Pink is a very vulnerable, scary color.
You know what this sounds like? Oprah speak. Oprah speak. Just not really in a committed relationship or a commitment. Just I live life on my terms, how I want to do it. I can pick up and move if I need to. I like having a boo thing beside me, but he should never get it twisted because I'm still the boss here. I still make the money. Now, I do understand that, I want the love of my life and I do want a little pushback. I like a little challenge and he gives me that. He gives me the challenge that I need, right? This is how most modern women think about relationships. Well, wouldn't you like a woman that challenges you to do? You're confusing challenging with like a legitimate challenge with being argumentative, right? And this man well, he challenges me and he wants me to be my best self. And well, this man knows where his bread is buttered, right? And I don't necessarily hate him for that. I don't. I don't necessarily hate that he acts in that way. But this is Oprah speak. This is I'm liberated and I've come to a higher sense of self and a higher meaning of my life, and I'm so much further, so much higher than a lot of these people out here. It's just like the woman that was selling her courses for $1,200 for like $340 for 30 minutes. So I can help you unlock your energy. The heck out of here.
To me, as a person who wears black most of the time, it's and something about being in a relationship with someone who actually cared about me, who actually wanted to take care of me, who actually wanted to make sure that I was okay, made me want to do what I do now, which is if I'm not on here or I'm not working on a YouTube video or in a golf club, I'm taking care of this man. What's funny to me is I don't think these men understand that most women aren't going to be interested in just blindly doing labor for you because you're a man and they're a woman. Like, when I look at my partner and I see how stressed out he is at work, right?
And once again, they don't realize what they're saying. Out of all of that, he was last priority. Once again, why don't men want to get married? If I'm not working on a YouTube video, if I'm not doing this, she named like 3 or 4 things, then I'm taking care of him instead of I make sure that he's good first. Then I go take care of this. My man is my first priority. Just like my wife and my kids are my first priority. They come first. And then all this other stuff I got to take care of. When wifey sees you, he's like, hey, you spending too much time at the job site. I feel like I'm the second I feel like I'm coming last. I feel like you're not prioritizing me. What does a man have to do? Okay, I got to figure out some way to get work taken care of so that I can spend time, quality, free of distractions, quality time with my wife. I keep on saying, modern women don't know what they're saying and they continue to tell on themselves. The man is at the back.
I want to make sure that he comes home and feels comfortable and safe and warm because he works so hard and because he takes care of me so well. Do you understand? Like, I have the ability to do it. I know how to do it. He don't know how to cook. He didn't know how to do half the shit that I do, but I do it because I love him. I know that he needs me to do it and appreciates me to do it. Now, if you were to ask him, he would say that he's not asking me to do it and he's not it up, but I know that's what he wants. I can intuit what he wants. I give him what he needs to function better. And every week I'm thinking of ways that I can change shit that I'm doing around his space to make him function a bit better. These are the ways that your brain works when you are with a person who cares for you. I think if men want that, they have to start thinking about what they're doing to get women to feel that way.
The problem with all of this, as it sounds great, is you have to put out so much effort. This is something I was talking to my wife about. You have to put out so much effort as a man in order to get nothing or very little in return, right? Who knows how long men have to put out? Like even what you said, well, you know, I usually wear black and I was going through a phase to where I wore pink. Stuff like this is fantastic. And I understand the sentiment behind it. But it's like, well, I feel safe enough to wear pink now. Where that man might have been spending months on end. It doesn't even occur to him. He just likes you the way you are. Well, now I feel safe enough to wear pink, but it took me 6 or 7 months in order to feel safe. Mind you, that man had been paying for stuff. That man had been doing stuff. That man had been active in your life to make you feel safe. 6 or 7 months until you decide, oh, I feel safe enough to come out. So that man has to sustain, let's say the date cost, I don't know, $50. Let's go well below what an average date cost. Let's say, man, it's $40 for us to hang out. We hang out every week. So 40 times, what is that, 160? Once again, a bill. So you're telling me, so it's basically a coaching program. You could have spent that money on a coaching program. It's basically, you could have spent that money on another bill, on another class, on another course in order to improve yourself. But I'm spending that type of money on you. And now after 6-7 months, I feel comfortable wearing pink. I feel comfortable doing that. Now, I didn't used to, but now I do. Men have to lay. It'd be one thing if the man came up to you, man, I pursued this woman for years and it seemed like she didn't like me, da 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 da. Men nowadays, you used to be able to get away with that. Men nowadays are like, man, I'm not pursuing no woman for no length of time like that. I'm not paying no type of money like that. Because you get to the end of the road and they say, well, I told you I didn't like you. Well, I thought you wanted me to chase. No, I wouldn't. If I'm not giving you attention, then get the heck away from me. Okay, well, I'm not going to spend my money. I'm not going to spend my time. I'm not going to do anything. So the requisite amount of time for you to feel safe never even comes into play because I'm not even going to be around that long. I'm not even going to be around that long. So it's not going to matter because you told me to get up out your face. You told me to leave you alone. It seemed like I'm in the friend zone. So I just go about my way. I just go about my business. Y'all try to make men stay around for such a long time before giving commitment, before becoming serious, before reciprocating. And at that point, a man is saying, I am out of here.